We're live, PayPal. PayPal, we're live. All right. So here we are. And we've got 1 minute to go. So we are live. Go ahead and get yourself seated because we will be on the ground pretty much the whole time. But go ahead and get your hydration. I'm pointing out my water. And if you have something, if you, like me, requires something underneath your knees, you're going to need those. We're a minute out. And we will be starting soon. Give yourself some time to get whatever you need. We'll be on the ground and looking forward to this one. So it's going to be fun. We may go till like 40 after the hour, and that's okay. So 30 seconds. Yay, yay, yay. I'd like to get her so that we start right on time. And I'm a stickler for time. Yes, I am. And I'm okay with that. And 15 seconds. Countdown. 3, 2. All right, everyone. Hello. We are live. And this is our end of the month yoga flow. Today's title is Stop to Start. And this is a celebration of here in the US. We had in the state I'm in, we had our primaries, and my friend won her primary, which means she will be going on to the general election in November, which everyone can vote in, right? So we're very, very proud of her, and we know that she can win. So with that, after the primaries last week, basically the campaign took a break for the last week with good reason, because you can't just keep moving at such a hard pace. So this is a culmination of that. So even though it's summer, even though we have that energetic vibe of, yeah, we can go crazy, no, we're going to stop to start, as my mentor always says. So we're going to start with our PQ reps, our positive quotient repetitions. And these are a way to make sure at any point in time, while your breath definitely can do that on your own, positive quotient repetitions, again, I can help you how to learn more about those, but it's a way to remember at any one time that your nervous system works with your body. It doesn't work against it. So we're going to start with positive quotient repetitions. If you feel safe, go ahead and you can be laying down. You can be laying down if you want. I'll be sitting. But if you feel safe, you can close your eyes. I want you to have a nice tall spine though, wherever you're positioned in space. And think about, your head being pulled up, right, by a string, and roll the shoulders back. And all we're going to do, quite literally, is we're going to notice our breath. We're not going to change it. We're not going to regulate it. And we're not going to judge it. We're just going to notice. So let yourself settle into your breath and notice. What parts of your body are moving with your breath? Is the rhythm of your breath familiar to you? Now, if you're able, with your ears, I'm going to switch to sound. Listen to the furthest away sound you can hear. Now, listen to the closest sound you can hear. And now we're going to come back. So if your eyes are closed, blink them open. And hopefully, if you're feeling a little jostled, now you feel a little less jostled. So we are going to start our flow. And I I have knobby knees, so I always get to put something under my knees. We will be in tabletop quite a bit. Um, so if you need something, get that. You can always double up your mat if you need something for your knees. But to start, we are going to get into child's pose. And there are two versions of child's pose. I'm going to go with the traditional version, which is if you're in tabletop, this is tabletop. All you're going to do is put your knees together, put your feet together, and then you're going to push back your bum until it sits on your knees. On your heels. And then you would put your head towards the floor. You can have your hands here. You can have something propping up your head. Doesn't matter. If this is too tight for you, or if it's not comfortable, the wide-legged child's pose are your big toes are touching, and then you have your knees wide, and then you sit back. So your bum still ends up on your heels, okay, because your heels are straight out. And then this one, though, you got to make sure that you keep something propped, your arms propping up, because you don't want to smash your head. I purposely want us to be in the child's pose, though, because we're going to start again, stop to start. So I want us to be very mindful. So to make sure you can still hear me, though, I'm going to have my head further away from the ground. All right, so get into child's pose, whichever version you want. And all we're going to do is we're going to breathe 5 times. Okay, so 5 breaths. And the idea is in this pose, you're going to have your chest expand. And it's purposely going to be expanding to be compressed with with your knees or with your thighs. So here we go. You'll feel it some in the wide-legged, but definitely this way you're going to feel it. So inhale, feel that expansion, and then exhale. Feel free to make that audible sign. Inhale, feel up, really press against the thighs, and then exhale. 3 more times. Inhale, and you can go at your own pace. And exhale. All right. Inhale as much as you can. Really feel that 360-degree expansion. Feel up. And then exhale as much as you possibly can. Awesome. Okay. Now, slowly bring up your head, because we've been with our head a little more hurt, and that technically is an inversion. Now we're going to get into tabletop, and this is where I need my cushion. All right, so tabletop. Okay, tabletop. I am going to go over some dual actions so that we're safe. But tabletop, okay, is that your wrists are directly under your shoulders, and your hips are over your your knees. Okay, so I'm sideways, you can see me a little better, but your hands do matter, and this matters for any time that we're putting our hands down. Okay, in traditional yoga, your middle finger is what should be facing forward, but that's really kind of constrictive, right, on our shoulders. So my mentor says to go ahead and have your index finger facing forward, and that's usually okay for most people, but some of us actually need the webbing forward. So pick your poison, okay? And then the dual actions of your hands does matter because we're going to be on our inflection a lot. So the dual action of your hands is your all 5 knuckles, including the thumb, are nice and strong on the floor. And then your fingers are spread. Another part of that dual action is that your fingertips are gripping the mat so that you have a really strong base, and that matters. Okay, sorry, I might need to blow my nose in the middle of this. Sorry about that. All right, so we're going to take cat cow. And cat cow is you're going to dip your tummy down and your bum goes up. Okay, let me get out of here a little. I look a little squished. And your eyes go forward. Okay, sorry about that. Your eyes go forward, and the bum is going towards the ceiling. Okay. Another dual action I want you to think about is nice broad collarbones. Okay, you can really stretch your collarbone, and then a wide shoulder blade. Okay, think about that. Now in cow, think about taking your chest out towards or past your shoulder blade with those dual actions, and it feels really good. Now you're going to exhale, and you can tense your fingers if you really want to protract into cat. Your tailbone goes in, okay, and your chin goes towards your chest. And this is cat. Come back into cow. And that articulation in your spine is what we want. We're warming up our spine. Look forward, not up. And then exhale. Really protract. Get those nice firm arms. And then inhale again. I'll do this 2 more times. Think about your chest going through your, past your shoulders, and then exhale. Oh yeah. Okay, now back to neutral. So I want you to be thinking about always the dual action of your collarbones, nice and broad. Think about broadening the collarbone, and then your shoulder blades, nice and wide, because that's going to help us. Okay, now we're going to go into bird dog. So bird dog is fun, and this is meant to practice stability. So we're going to be extending out the right leg, okay? And I want you to think about when we are lifting our leg, it's not coming from the foot. It's actually coming from our butt, okay? So you want to think about when I'm using my butt, this is how much I could barely engage. Now I can go more when I start to extend, but it's my bum that the lift is coming from. If I just use my foot, I'm gonna go, but that's not the purpose of this. You have your nice taut leg. It's probably gonna be more efficient to point your toe, okay? And then what we're gonna do is we're going to have our left arm out, and it can be at an angle, it doesn't have to be straight next to your ear. But I want your fingers nice and spread, and I want you to think about as you lift, think about your extremities going away from one another. So your toes are trying to stretch away from your fingertips, okay? That's one side. We're gonna do this 5 times on each side. This is to think about that nice stretch. Broad collarbones, shoulder blades nice and taut. This is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 1 more, and 10. Oh yeah, that feels good. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and get on our belly and wind up our back some. And if you need this actually to be on because your pelvis, the bony parts of your pelvis may not feel good, you can have that underneath it. Okay, so we're being on our bum, our tummy. Hopefully that's accessible to you. And we're going to be here for quite some time. So our peak pose, as we call it, the pose we're working up to is locust. And basically, you can think of it as the superhuman pose, right? But in different variations, we're going to go from the top of our body first, and then we're going to work the bottom, and only the bottom, and then we're going to work both, and then we go into locust. So do what you can, right? This isn't about hurting anyone. So we're first going to go into bringing our head up. I want you to keep your feet down, okay? So think about, you can have them flex, but it's probably easier if you have your feet, okay, pointed and facing towards the ground. And think about really grounding, okay, the best you can. And you really do want to have a nice tight bum, okay, because that's going to keep your legs stay nice and flexible. And I want you to think about, again, the broad collarbones, okay, and those shoulder blades, because that's going to help you lift. Now, this is a very small movement. It's not large, okay? So your hands can be a pillow for your head. And all we're going to do, again, we're keeping our bottom part of us on the ground. And all we're doing is we're going to inhale. And then exhale up a little with our hands on our head. And then come back down. Now that's can be quite, new to some people. So it doesn't have to, it can be like a millimeter, okay? It doesn't have to be high. Inhale, think about this nice broad collarbones. Up and then down. Through inhale and then exhale. Keep the feet down. Your knees should be on the floor. Inhale. Exhale, and then one, inhale, and exhale. Awesome. Okay, that should have been worked. So even though we're on the floor, again, this isn't easy. It looks passive, but it's not. Your whole body is engaged. Okay, now we're going to be keeping our head, okay, on the floor, or I should say on our hands, and it's going to be our legs that are going to go. Okay, so again, it can be a baby millimeter. It doesn't have to be huge. If you can get your knees, fine, but don't worry about it. You really want to, again, think about all your limbs being nice and stiff, because that's going to help you lift. And this is where the bum comes in. It's your bum that's lifting up. Okay, I didn't use my legs at that point. I was using my bum. I was squeezing my bum. Okay, so now our head is staying down, and it's only our bottom that's going to move. Okay, so we're going to inhale, and then exhale, do your bottom up. And this is where it can kind of be uncomfortable for your hip bones. So use something underneath them if you need to. Pat them. Inhale, and then exhale up, over down. Inhale, exhale. 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. And 1 more time. Inhale. And then exhale. Oh yeah. Okay, good job. So we worked the top of us, we worked the bottom. Now we're gonna go into swimmers. So again, you can think of it as superhuman, right? Because we're floating. But this time we're actually going to be swimming, because I want to really work the whole body and get us really nice and warm for locusts. So, and you can even call this superhuman, the final version of the pose. But these are all considered versions of locusts. Is that most people know this as super. I like to be neutral, so superhuman. So your face is going to be down, okay. And we're going to stretch our arms out as far away from our limbs, so we want to stretch out in front of us, the arms and the hand. And then we want think about isometrically trying to get your fingertips away from your toes, okay? But we're gonna swim, and we'll do this for about 10 seconds. I know it's gonna be long, but you can do it. Maybe longer. Okay, here we go. Ready? Inhale. Look forward, and then start to swim. And again, you want those nice rock collarbones. Look down if you want, or forward, either one. And then the shoulder blades, that's what's going to help you continue. And you don't have to have your legs floating as well, but this is in fact swimming. And guess what? You're probably going almost to a good 30 seconds. And here we go. Boy, go down. Good job. All right. So now we are primed. We're going to go into locust. Okay. You can also call this superhuman, right? Because you've seen, all the superheroes go like this. That's what we're going to do. So your face, your forehead is down. Your arms are by your side. Your palms are facing, each other. And the idea, is you want your fingertips to be trying to get towards your toes. But everything is tight, Everything is taut. So we're going to go at least 3 times. So here we go. Inhale. And then you're going to come up, even if it's a millisecond, but you're looking down. You're trying to get your fingertips to those toes, and the toes are pointed. Everything is tight. Yes. And then put your cheek put your right cheek to the ground as you rest. Because that's a lot. Definitely. Okay. Now we're going to go 2 more times. So head back down, forehead on the ground. And remember that dual action of your collarbones nice and wide, and your shoulder blades nice and broad, because that's going to help you lift, and it's going to help keep you up. Okay, here we go. Inhale. And then exhale. Up. And think about it again. Everything is nice and tight. Think about yourself flying, right? You're flying, and you want to be as like a bullet. And then come back down. Left cheek come down. Yeah, that should take your breath away. Okay, one more time, so that we feel we've gotten the full effect, right? Okay. Forehead back to the ground. Get ready. Inhale. Exhale. Up. Think about a bullet flying through the air. You're going really fast. And you're picking up steam. And go ahead and put your hands on the floor so you can have a pillow. Good job. That looks easy, right? It doesn't look like we're, doing much of anything, but yeah, we're engaged, definitely. Good job. Okay, so now we get to counter all of our tummy work. So we're just simply gonna turn over. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, now we're on our backs. And we're gonna counter all of that work with bridge. I just don't want to touch anything. Okay, so now we are going to go into a slow bridge. Okay, we were on our, we were working our posterior chain, this all previously, and now we're going to work our front to counter that so that we have a nice balance. So bridge, okay, you're not going to look at me. I don't want you touching, turning your neck once we get into bridge. But a way to really get comfy with bridge is you can use your fingertips and try to touch the heels, okay? That if you can touch your heels, you're probably in a pretty okay space with your feet away from your bum. Okay, you can always have them a little bit more or try to put them closer, but as long as you can feel them, you're pretty much in the best position. What you're going to do though is you're going to think again about the nice broad collarbone and your shoulder blades spread, because that's going to help you lift up. Okay, we're not trying to get our hips as high as possible. We're going to articulate our spine one vertebrae at a time. The hips lift, and then each little vertebrae. So here we go. What I do want you to do though, again, nice broad collarbones, shoulder blades nice and wide. I want you to think about your nice tight core. So navel to the spine and up, and then your ribs knitted down. That's a lot. Basically just think about a tight core. So inhale, and then one vertebrae at a time. You're gonna bring up the hips and think about those nice broad collarbones and your shoulder blades nice and wide. That's gonna help you actually bring the hips up more. Not that it matters, but that's what's bringing up your hips. It's not the hips itself, okay? You shouldn't feel this in your lower back, okay? You should be feeling it in your hamstrings, because think about your feet, okay, your heels energetically trying to come towards your bum. That's what's helping you get higher. And let's go ahead and bring it back down one vertebrae at a time. Last should be your bum. So again, we're countering being on our tummy so much, okay? So we'll do this 2 more times. You're going to, everything tightens up, okay? The broadening of your collarbones is what can help broaden the bottom so that you have a wider base, and that helps lift your hips. So inhale, and then really one vertebrae at a time, and then again, broad collarbones, shoulder blades nice and wide. It's, again, it's not about feeling it in your lower back. You shouldn't feel it in your lower back. You should feel a nice broad chest, and that's actually what helps lift. Your heels should energetically try to get to your bum, and go ahead and back down. Awesome. Good job, everyone. One more. This one's going to be a little longer. And then we'll find out just how high you can get your hips. Again, that's not the point of a bridge, but it is something to help you learn how tight, okay, or I should say how much mobility you have in your lower back. So you really want to plant those feet, broad collarbones, nice long or lot, broad collarbones, and wide shoulder blades. Here we go. Plant those feet. Inhale and exhale one vertebrae at a time. This time you're going to stay there and think about bringing your shoulders together. Again, right? The shoulder blades are nice and wide, but we're trying to now bring those shoulder blades together. And then if you can, you don't have to, but go ahead and clasp your hands together. And then now, think about your hands energetically trying to go towards your feet. And look how much higher I can go simply by thinking about broadening the collarbones, shoulder blades nice and wide, and my hands energetically. It's that stretch. And again, it's not in the lower back. You shouldn't be feeling this in your lower back. Your bum should be tight, but you should be feeling this mostly in the upper torso. Okay, let go of your hands, put it back down, and then one vertebrae at a time. Come back down. Wonderful. That should feel good, I hope. So now we're going to go ahead and go into supine twist, because we're going to counter what we just did. It's all about counter, right? So we're going to outstretch our left leg, keep the foot flexed. This knee, the right knee, is going to be folding over the left leg. But to do that, we want to stack our hips, okay? So you're going to go ahead the easiest way I find to describe this is you can use your elbows to press against the mat and then lift up the hips because you want the hips to stack. And automatically, you saw my knee move. So the most important part of the supine twist, it's not trying to get the knee to the mat. No. In fact, it's actually your shoulders staying on the mat that matters. Okay. So if this is where you're at, because your shoulders, that's where they stay, good. It takes work to keep your shoulders down. So this should feel good though. Okay. Twists are awesome. And you can have your left hand on the right knee or thigh. You can have it pushing out the hip. And your hands can be in a cactus as long as your shoulders stay on the ground. They can be wide. I like to have, and my water's in the way. I like to have my right hand out, the arm, and I want to think about stretching my fingers away from my hip. And then you can even use the finger, the thumb, the left thumb, put it in the hip socket, and then push forward. And then think about, again, the fingertips of the right arm trying to get away from the right hip. And it feels good. But yeah, you're just basically giving your back a nice little massage. Awesome. And you can release with your arm going down. Take the hip, elbows back, and then bring your hips back to facing the ceiling. You always want to get your spine back to neutral, okay? Especially in a twist, coming out of a twist. So now we're gonna use that on the other side. So your right leg is gonna stretch out, flex the foot. Unfortunately, my bum is gonna be towards you, but I want you to notice my shoulders, okay? They don't leave the ground. They do when I lift up, but I want my shoulders always on the ground. So you can use your elbows if you want. I really don't need to. I'm used to this. So you're going to lift your hips up. Once again, my shoulders are not leaving. So if I were to go further, you can see my shoulder, right? This is where I'm going to be. Okay. This is where my twist is. So get comfy. Now I can stretch my left arm away. I can give some pressure to that top hip and really feel that nice stretch. I can feel it from here all the way to that twist. And it feels good. And you should be feeling the twist in the lower back, okay? That's the whole point. All right. Go ahead, release, bring the arm back down, and bring your hips back to neutral. And guess what? We are now in the perfect position to end in Shavasana. So, you can pick your best version for you. You don't have to be in corpse pose. You can be in fetal position if you want. You can be on your back with your knees bent into each other, your feet wide as the mat. It can be in butterfly. It's up to you. You don't have to close your eyes, all right? Get into whatever feels comfortable, because this is actually the whole reason why you started this practice. So we're going to get comfy. This is now the time to release your body. No more controlling your breath. If you wish, you can close your eyes. And we will be here for a little bit. We really want to. This is the whole point of yoga. To utilize all of that energy you created right now throughout the practice and let it surge through your body. So, get comfy, let go of your breath, and all you're going to do now is observe your breath. No judgment, just observe it. And if your mind drifts away, just bring it gently back to your breath. And I'll remind you every now and then. If your mind has wandered away from your breath, bring it back gently to your breath. If you have the time, then by all means, feel free to stay in your Shavasana as long as you can. If you're on a timetable like me, then I'm going to ask that you start to bring your body back to movement by wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. And if you're in a fetal position, you can still do this. Go ahead and twist the ankles and the wrist both ways. You can probably hurt my body. And if you're in a fetal position, you can stay there. With your on your back, let's go ahead and get into the fetal position. We don't want to rush up just yet. We've been on our back, which means, we want to give our head time to get the blood back and forth. Okay. And go ahead, use one hand to brace yourself as you come up at a fetal position. If you can't, take any type of comfy seat and I want to be facing. It's always hard to. Let's go ahead and take a final breath together. Inhale up, hands overhead, and come out. It's prayer, hands in prayer. And if it resonates with you, softly bow to the mat, towards the mat. Namaste. I want to thank you. I love this one. This was fun. Again, it had really good vibes to it. I'm so excited for my friend. And here's hoping she will be the next house elect for her district. Meanwhile, we will see you next month. But let me know what you're looking forward to when it comes to any type of yoga type of flow, and I'll do my best to accommodate. And if you're looking for a yoga teacher one-on-one, I'm happy to oblige. I'm looking to accumulate enough hours to make sure I meet my requirements for yoga clients. So because I don't teach regularly, um, it always means that I get to be mindful, okay, of how many hours I accumulate of teaching. So until then, take care and take charge. Thanks.